The following podcast is a member of the Pokecasters Network. Pokecasters Network, supporting Pokemon content creators, their shows, and the community of Pokemon fans. To find out more, check out PokecastersNetwork.com or find us on Twitter and Facebook.
I need to think about how to, because this joke is like literally forming as we speak.
Oh gosh.
What's a medieval architect's favorite, side hustle, favorite hobby?
What?
Moats art.
Okay,
Yeah.
great.
Sorry, that was forced. I was like, Mozart. There's a joke there.
Somewhere. Hello everyone, welcome to Not a Scratch, the only podcast that believes that Scratch is an overpowered move. I am your host, your DM, your PM, your GM, Anirudh himself, and with me here, flipping the flash drive over and over and over again.
It's me, Muhammad. Everyone knows that you have to flip it over at least 3 times to get it to plug in, but lately I've been having a lot of trouble. I'm pushing 30 and this flash drive still is not plugging in.
And on that note, probably should get a different flash drive.
Probably. Might be broken.
Anyway, how you doing? How's it going?
I am doing well. It's been a very long time since we've recorded, but y'all don't need to know that.
I mean, we say that's every time, so...
Yeah, for people who may not be aware, we are all students, so getting time to record now that school is back in session is tough. But we somehow make it work.
Hashtag backlog.
That.
Yep. Cool. There is something peculiar, is that we are missing an individual, and I don't know whether to feel good or bad about it.
I was wondering when you were gonna bring it up.
Yeah, so, peoples that are listening to this, we only have Muhammad here. Mansour's not here. Why? This is a solo episode. Yay!
Yay!
So these are both coming out at the same time, so I don't know if you're listening to this one first or second. If you're listening first, hello. If you're listening second, hello. And, yeah.
That was a very fun hello for the people who listened to the other episode first.
Yeah, that's the advantage. I don't know which one goes first and which one goes second, even now, so we'll figure it out when we get there. So this adventure focuses specifically on the adventures of Kyle. Speaking of Kyle, do you know what happened last time?
Well, Kyle does. I'm gonna have a little bit more trouble remembering, but I mean, essentially, we kind of got our nice introduction to the Boulderstars and kind of getting our bearings around Briny Breeze Island. Starting to kind of do some work for the Boulderstars and get acquainted to the people and the island. And then Ralph decided to just up and leave and told Kyle yeah, I'm leaving tomorrow. And Kyle was just like, you couldn't have told me sooner. And here we are.
Yep. So there was the surfing competition thing as well. That was interesting.
That was the big event that happened. Yes.
Yeah.
I knew there was something.
So the surfing competition, that was all fun. And you guys found a criminal who stole a trophy, came back, all that fun stuff.
Yeah, just another weekend in the life to average heroes.
Yeah, you know what it is. So for those of you listening at home, for those of you listening at home, these stories are, you can flip them in either order, and the story should make sense because it focuses on 2 different people at the same time. So while Ralph is off doing whatever Ralph does, we'll focus on what Kyle does. So with that being said, I don't know if there's anything else that we need. So is there anything you'd like to add before we get started?
If we're ready to go, we can dive on in.
So as we dove into the story, we're going to focus specifically on the Kyle part of this story. Now, Ralph is off trying to learn a new move, so he's heading back. He's already left by this point. So it is early morning, 7:30ish as he leaves. So he said goodbye the previous night and all that stuff. So while he's gone, what are you doing? Because for you, it's a normal day.
Yeah, I think Kyle at this point is he's kind of settled in. He kind of has an idea of like all right, this is kind of what the guild is like. These are what the people are like. Blah 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 blah. Uh, Kyle is still very much like a goal driven Trico. He's here for one reason and one reason only, because there may or may not be a legendary item somewhere around. So I think Kyle's whole thing is, while Ralph is gone, he might as well start making some headway in that department and see if he can find something out, start exploring a bit.
All right,
Of
sure.
course, while still doing his work for the Boulderstars, because
Yeah.
like Kyle isn't like I have no way of putting this that is family friendly, but he's not a
He's not lazy.
well, I was gonna say, as the people of Pittsburgh would say, he's not a.
I'm not sure if I can keep that.
We can cut all this out. But no, Kyle is a decent Kyle's a decent fellow, and will fulfill his obligations and all that good stuff.
Okay. Ralph did tell you, by the way, I don't know if he actually told you this, but we're retconning it all the same, that he's probably coming back Sunday night-ish is his end goal, so you're by yourself for the weekend, basically.
Oh, nice. Good time.
Yeah. So while you're doing your thing, what would you like to do? Because you can do your normal work stuff, which is the same sort of half in, half out type thing that we've been doing in the past. There are a few other things you could do. You could go around town, talk to people.
I think I think Kyle's move is he's gonna see if there's any jobs that he could do, out of the building in the morning, that'll get him out and about, exploring and seeing if he can pick up anything in the I mean, there are caves apparently around the island, so if there's any chance he can explore those, or anything that'll kind of get him out and about and exploring.
Sure. So, as you head over to the job section, you see coming out of his office as you come down the stairs, wake up and breakfast and all that. You see coming out Carlos Costa, the Cara Costa, and he kind of tries to stop you for a second. Kind of waves you over to him.
Oh yeah, Kyle's just gonna very quickly head over and just kind of give him a nod of just oh yeah, good morning.
Yes. I do have one quick thing, if you could do it for me this morning, on top of whatever you normally are planning.
Yeah, no, for sure. I could definitely get something done for you. What do you need?
So he takes a piece of paper out and gives you basically an address.
Can you go here and see if there are any documents that should be assigned or brought to me?
Yeah. I can definitely check in. What's this place I'm going to? What are these documents I'm looking for? Is there someone I'm supposed to meet, or what's the deal?
Just walk in and say that you're from the Boulderstars. There should be a new map that I'm interested in examining.
Oh, yeah, no, sounds good. I'll find that map and I'll bring it back to you when I'm back in around lunchtime.
Sure.
And he slowly walks over to the breakfast table.
And Kyle, not as slowly, is gonna walk over to the jobs board to see if there's anything else he could do while he's out.
Sure. So I'm gonna roll to see what happens. The higher number, the actual jobs show up. All right, that's a 1.
Oof, feels bad.
All right, so most of the jobs available are not dungeon seeking tasks or big things like that. A lot of them are just information gathering, similar to this. So those don't have nearly as high of a reward, if any reward at all, but they do have some benefits and stuff like that. Plus, you get to go around town, so that from that respect, it benefits you.
Yeah,
but you're not really dungeon traveling.
It's a shame Kyle can't get some more physical work in, but work is work.
Yeah.
Are there any jobs posted with addresses near the address that Carlos gave?
Sure. We'll just say there's a job about inventory for a shop that they'd like to have someone help them with inventory for a day or something like that.
Okay,
some basic task like that.
Some small work like that. All right.
Yeah.
And the address Carlos gave was somewhere in town, I'm guessing.
Yeah, the address is somewhere in town, and the address on the job board this is like, a couple numbers higher.
Ah.
So it's like same street and stuff.
Nice. All right. In that case, Kyle is gonna. I'm assuming Kyle already ate, so Kyle's just gonna kind of take down like notes on like whatever else needs to get done and head out.
All right, sure. So you head out into town, and remember, this is sort of like a city, like a beach city, I guess you could say. Of like, it's like this makes me think of like it's like a sim city of like an island. There's a town. There's a beach on the side. There's like forest in the background, a bunch of caves and stuff like that.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So the town's like, you guys in the Boulderstars are like near dead center of town. So you have free access to the entire town, which is the same sort of facilities that Shady Grove had and Newport City and all those places. So is there any place you would like to go before you head to do your tasks, or just heading straight there?
I think Kyle's gonna start off just with the tasks and like see how long those take and see if those lead him down like any interesting rabbit holes in the city.
Sure. Yeah, rabbit holes on this podcast? No.
Never.
Why would I plan plot like that? So you head in the direction that the signs take you, basically. Heading to a street of a bunch of like government buildings and stuff like that, I guess is the best way to put it.
Ooh, Main Street.
Pretty much. And as you head down here, you notice that the buildings are a lot more older, I guess you could say. And you're also heading farther away from the beach. So if you're like walking from the beach, you're basically walking to the opposite side of town as you just walk back. This is more closer to the forest and all of the more wildlife like locations. Buildings are older. It's like they built starting from there and just went forward. You know what I mean? Towards the beach.
They started out moving away from the beach, and then as they built the town, they were like, actually, the beach is kind of nice.
Yeah, it's like they started towards the center, and then they thought about themselves like, maybe we should go to the beach, and then just built towards the beach.
Yep.
So you head more towards the back of the town, the more rustic buildings and stuff like that, as you see a couple of, older government buildings. There's like another like a lawyer's firm and things like that, giving you flashbacks.
Visibly shudders.
Yeah, and you eventually get to the location that Kara Costa wanted you to go.
And it's like one of these like old dreary buildings.
Yeah, it's an old building. There's like an atlas, like a globe on the front, very clearly like a cartographer's location.
Ooh, interesting. All right, yeah. Kyle's just gonna kind of head in, and is there like a front desk or like a receptionist or someone?
Yes, there is a receptionist.
All right, yeah.
Let's go. Let's see. Let's go with Spinda. There we go. There's a Spinda on the counter.
Let me make sure I'm thinking of the right Pokemon. Oh, yep. Okay. Kyle's just gonna go up and go, hi. I'm here with the Boulderstars. Carla sent me.
So the Spinda gets up from its chair. Let's say it's a she. Wow. So she gets up from her chair, and as soon as she gets up, she kind of wobbles to one side and then wobbles to another side, and goes, "Oh yeah, certainly. Let me just see what your lucky paper is." Like very announcery, I guess is her voice.
Round and round and round she goes. Which map she'll pick up, nobody knows.
So she picks up a map and hands it to you, and says, I think this is it. And you can look at the map and clearly tell this is not it. For one thing, it's not a map. It's like a restaurant menu.
Which restaurant is it? Is it a restaurant in town?
No, it's not even from in town. In fact, you recognize the restaurant because it's Le Berry from.
I don't think this is what I was sent here for. I was told I'd be getting a map.
She takes it back, but she takes it back upside down, and it's like, huh, this is weird. And instead of turning the menu upside down, she like turns herself upside down on the chair. Oh, this is not correct, and heads to the back. Kind of tosses the menu aside. So while she heads back there, you hear the bell, the bell of the door bell thing, whatever. The bell thing that when the door opens, you hear the ching ching. Yeah. You hear that ring, and somebody's clearly coming inside. Would you like to turn around and see who it is?
Kyle's just gonna kind of like look over his shoulder, just at it like, who is that?
And you see Indy the Fanfy walk in.
Kyle's just gonna kind of give a wave, like, oh hey, what's up?
Indy goes,
Oh, right. Hey, mate. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How have you been?
Things have been all right. Trying to... Actually, are you here for a map? Because that's what I'm here for.
Yeah. The head of the Boulderstars wanted me to pick something up for him. I think he's waiting on a map here too.
Oh, good old Carlos. Bro, oh my gosh. He used to be, back in his old days, the fastest explorer I knew.
The fastest?
This man, you don't understand. He would go through dungeons just like that. 1 minute walks in, 1 minute walks out with like 14 treasure chests. It was bonkers.
Does he know a lot about the different dungeons and stuff around here? Does he know like kind of the nooks and crannies of Briny Breeze?
Oh, don't you believe it? This man, I'm pretty sure, Carlos knows this island more than he understands his own shell.
I don't know how easily he can see his shell, so I believe it.
Anyway,
what brings you here? What kind of a map are you trying to get?
well, no, and he pulls out from his pocket a map.
No, I was trying to see if the lady here.
I need a name for Spinda. Twirl. Let's go with that.
That's a good one.
Yeah, so no, I'm coming here for Twirl. Actually, she's really good with the maps, and so I was curious if she was able to interpret this.
And Indy shows you a map that he's kind of waved around for you in the past. He shows you the full map, and it's the map of the island.
And is there like anything like interesting that Kyle can pick up off of this map?
Roll smart, I guess.
Smart.
I don't know what exactly this is. This is sort of a smart thing.
Yeah, I guess it would.
I guess history would probably be the closest thing to what I'm planning on doing.
Yeah. Plus uno is an 11.
Okay. So when you see the map, it looks. You notice a couple things. It's very old, or at least it looks old, and it looks like old, like out of date as well. Not only is like the material old, it looks like the island has not been built all the way.
Interesting.
Because you notice some of the buildings that you passed by aren't on this map. Like the city itself doesn't head to the beach. Like there is still a separator between the beach and the city, which you now know is like blended together.
Yeah. Is there anything like interesting pointed out on the map, like outside of the city? Like is there like anything of note that the island that's shown on the island on this old map?
That you understand? No, he's got a couple of markings like around the map.
Okay.
On the like borders, but nothing that you really can comprehend. He's got circles on like empty areas of ocean and random things like that. Nothing.
What are all these markings on this map? What do you have circled?
Well, so there's a real big legend about this island. And do you have time? I mean, I can tell you the entire story.
I mean, Terrell is still looking for Carlos's map, so I think I have time.
All right. So it's pretty straightforward, but the story behind it is really weird. See, way back in the olden days, there was a pirate that came on the island, and nobody knows who he is, which is what makes this entire thing a legend. Legend has it that the pirate came to this island before it was a city, and buried his treasure on the island in a cave that nobody could enter except him. And it's supposed to have some sort of your generic gold and silver and sort of thing, all sorts of things like that. But it's supposed to have some sort of item that legends say can cause the world's savior to form. Something weird like that. The hieroglyphics and all that sort of stuff are kind of hard to understand. But long story short, there's some sort of item in there that can bring the world to savior. And obviously I want to find that. I mean, what type of adventure that be?
That sounds really cool. Have you had any luck looking for this artifact? Or are these markings like are these like possible spots? Are these dead ends?
Well, that's the weird thing, is that I've been here for a bunch, and I've had Carlos help me in the past, and we have searched every inch of this island for anything that could be used as some sort of entrance, some secret passageway, even some sort of false, door or false floor or anything else of that thing, and we can't find anything on the island.
That's weird. I mean, it's a legend. It may not be true, right?
Sure, yeah, but I don't know, something about the search for it. It's just, appealing, you know what I mean?
No, I understand. Listen, me and my buddy have had some pretty interesting encounters with things of legend in the past. If you'd like, I could be interested in helping you, or maybe we could work together to try and find this treasure, because it sounds like a fun adventure.
Oh, no kidding. Really? Alright, actually I was planning on, there's one area that I don't think I've checked. The problem is, it's in the middle of the ocean, but if we could get there could be that's one area that I haven't checked yet, and he points at a specific circle, that area right there. You see, something about that is very different from what is currently, if you go out and look across the ocean, it's very different when you sketch it out. And so I want to examine that area, because that's the only place I can think of left. And if it's there, then we might have something.
Yeah, I mean, if that's a lead that you haven't checked yet, I think it's worth trying to get out there. I can check in with Carlos and see if maybe I can get the day off or something and come help you out. We can meet up.
Sure, absolutely, yeah. I'm planning on traveling tomorrow, because I have to get the boat and all that sort of stuff, the equipment and everything like that. But if you're able to travel, go down to the docks, and I'll be at dock station 10. I'm probably going to leave it around like 9ish, so if you show up before then, we'll head off, and if not, then I'll head out on my own.
Well, you can, as long as I get the okay, I'll see you then.
Alright, mate. And Twirl at this point has done a backflip to land in the chair backwards and hands you the maps from like behind her shoulders. And it's like, here you go.
And are these the maps?
These are the maps, but she gave you the wrong one. She gave you his and vice versa.
Kyle just like kind of looks at the map and then like looks up at Indy, and it's just like it just extends the map out. It's like,
yeah, you notice that map is like a clean version of the one he's marked up.
Interesting.
Yeah. And he gives you his map and vice versa, and you guys head on out back to whatever you're normally doing. You do have another task.
Yeah, I guess Kyle's just gonna go over and do inventory for the shop or whatever.
Yep. For this, I want you to roll something. Let's find out what it is. I don't know what it is.
What goods Kyle gets in payment for?
I guess
for
stealth.
inventory?
Roll stealth.
Stealth.
Stealth is probably the closest thing I can think of. But
This makes it sound like Kyle's trying to steal.
You're trying to overhear something, and that's the best thing that I can think of.
Gotcha. Where is? Here we go. Stealth would be okay. Yeah, it is cool. Just wanted to make sure I had that right. Ladies and gentlemen, Nat 20.
Okay, so you over here.
I've been like, what? Excuse me.
Okay, so with that, you overhear the entire conversation. All the conversations go on, and you get a bunch of cool nuggets about the city, and all its like that sort of surroundings thing. To the point where I will just flat out give you. You can ask any 3 questions about anything related to this plot of land that you are on, and I will answer them.
Oh, this is good. So I guess kind of
the only restrictions is that you have to assume that somebody in the city would be able to convey that information to somebody else in the city. So you can't ask like, what's the treasure or something dumb like that.
Yeah, no. But like, I was thinking just in terms of like, I guess the first question is like with regards to that legend that Indy told of like this item. Is there anyone in the town who like has like had either like a sighting of like that entranceway or like that like related specifically to like that like little plot of ocean? Does anyone really know anything, or like has there been like whisperings about the treasure?
So recently, there have been some rumblings about that location, specifically because a lot of the older people don't remember there being this sort of a side island. So it almost looks like either an island or just a large piece of rock that's sticking out of the ground, and a lot of the older members don't remember that being there.
Gotcha.
So it looks like a relatively new thing. The newer people remember that all their lives. If you had to put a time frame on it, it seems like about 20 years ago or so, the rock like slowly started growing out of the ocean.
Interesting. Okay. I guess the second question I'd have would be so with the like with what happened with the with that Zoroark, right? Who like tried framing Ralph for theft and tried to get Ralph like all locked up and stuff.
Yeah.
Has anyone on the island either had like any interactions with either like any like weird occurrences with that like Zoroark happen like, or like something similar to that happening, like some spooky shit like that, spooky stuff like that? Sorry, or like that alias that Plank the Girder, that alias. Does anyone know anything about that individual like within that town?
No, you don't hear. The Zoroark incident was something that was weird and just like a one-off thing for most people. And if they heard about it, they heard about it through the news or some sort of thing like that. Because most of the people that are involved with it were on the boat, and they were coming from outside to in the island.
Mm-hmm.
There is some rumor about some sort of haunted house on the mainland, but that's just something that you hear over the grapevine. That doesn't seem to apply to what's going on right now.
Gotcha. And no one knows Plank the Girder.
Plank the Girder is just a made-up thing as of what everyone else is saying.
Gotcha. It's a third question I could have about this island that would be like useful information. Man, it's really hard thinking of. I'm afflicted with the curse of not knowing what I don't know. Cause like, I guess I'll go with the. This could be a question that opens some interesting doors. What's the general like, or not general? Is there anyone on the island who either like claims or is rumored to have had a run-in with the legendary?
Is there anyone on the island who has claimed to have a run-in with the legendary?
Or is rumored to have had a run-in with the legendary Pokemon?
Yeah.
You don't know how to answer this one, do you?
I don't. Partly because I'm not sure if I've thought of an answer for this before.
You can see what I'm trying to do, and you're thinking right now, do I allow it?
I don't actually. I'm not 100% sure where you're going with this.
Well.
Go ahead and tell me, because
I mean,
it's not gonna adjust the way I think about it.
It might, because I'm sure you might have something like this planned. I'm just trying to suss out any recruits of the Lost on this island.
Oh, okay.
So if someone claims to have seen a legendary Pokemon, then I mean they're a very obvious like potential recruit. Or if, even better, if someone is rumored to have had a run with a legendary but won't actually confirm it, could be interesting. I'm asking in a very roundabout way. Are there any recruits on this island?
Yeah, that's what you're saying.
Shout out rolling nat 20s. It's great.
Yeah, you got me in a conundrum here.
No one puts baby in a corner. Well, are there any recruits on the island? Oh. Ladies and gentlemen of the Not a Scratch community, I'd like to take this moment just to kind of revel in the work I've done as a player on this podcast of just completely breaking the DM, PM, GM of this podcast. It was inevitable. It had to happen eventually. I'm glad I was able to bring this moment of just complete and utter victory for players everywhere to you all. I know that at least within our community, we can agree that it is every player's job to completely break their GM's mind, and I'm glad to say that I'm glad to have brought this moment to you all as listeners.
Okay, I have a potential answer based on this question. Who are the recruits that you know? Include you guys. So,
Us two, um, Adam, Isaac, Mrs. Quagmire, uh, uh, what's the arc? Aaron.
okay. Is that all
Um,
of them then?
I don't know because we may have met another one and I just don't remember. But as far as I'm aware, the only recruit that we have, the only confirmed recruit that we've met along our journey from like the start of Arc 1 is Aaron.
Okay. Okay. Here's here's what I'm going to go with. There was a rumor. This fits into it perfectly, and I just made this up on the spot because this was not planned. But there
Well-
was a rumor of someone who used to live on the island.
Well, can I get an identity of this person? That'd be great. Like maybe a species, maybe a name, maybe someone on the island knows where they moved.
Hold up, I gotta open my map.
The big world
Give
map
me a
that I don't have access to.
You have me going through like all the documents I own at this point for
Dude,
this question
dude,
that I did
I-
not originally plan.
With one question, I have asked you to create a new entire set of plot threads.
Basically, I mean,
I was really hoping that this would be more of like, like a short-term, immediate question where it's like, oh, this is someone that we could potentially meet, like, in this arc, blah, 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 blah. But no, I've just managed to set up a plot thread for Arc 5 instead.
basically.
Man, this is why you don't make 5,000 IQ plays.
Oh, I can't wait for this entire episode to be dead noise. And like when I go through and like silence it, it's like we've cut half an hour. Like what?
Yeah, no, it's gonna be great.
Come on, load for me.
Yeah, wow, we've been recording for 50 minutes and we have
Nothing.
maybe 15 minutes of content. I mean, like, we've
Okay.
literally moved like
Yeah.
2 hours in game time.
So, you hear rumors about somebody that used to live on the island, and usually conversations go along a similar line of just somebody will, like mention something legendary related, and usually it'll go along the lines of, "Oh my gosh, we don't need to bring up legendary nonsense like that. Otherwise, you'll just be acting like Pearl."
Why is that a name that rings a bell? Is it a name that...
It is not a name that I've used.
It's not a name that you used? Okay.
No, maybe it's just like the Pokemon game.
I mean, my first instinct was Pokemon Pearl, and then I was like, hold on, have we met a character named Pearl? I feel like we've met a Pearl.
I don't
Okay.
have a Pearl written down.
Okay. No,
Well, I mean, except this one, but
Yeah, okay. And like, what's the general sentiment around Pearl? Or do I just know Pearl?
yeah, Pearl is considered someone who was really out there with her ideas. Someone that like was very much a risk taker. She would say the first thing that comes to her mind. She's sort of like a grown-up Snow in a way, I guess. If Snow
Huh.
didn't mature.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah. And a lot of conversation talks about Pearl and how she like was on the island for a long time and just got bored of it, and so moved to the biggest city nearby, New Shimmer City.
Is this on another island, or...
This is on the main location. So technically, you guys, yeah, according to my map, you technically are in the Lux region right now, or Lux country right now, because the island's in that country. So the capital of the Lux country is New Shimmer City,
Gotcha.
or state, whatever. So that's on the mainland Lux side, as opposed to where you guys are, mainland of Nature.
Gotcha. Okay.
So that is a plot point for eventually.
I hope that that's a plot point that comes up relatively soon.
I cannot guarantee that.
When have we ever cleaned up our plot threads? When?
No. Yeah. So those are your 3 questions. That only took 9 years.
To be fair,
Yeah,
I
but-
asked 3 questions in the way that like one of your exams is 3 questions. 1A, 1B,
Oh, yeah.
1C.
Yeah. For people listening at home, by the way, you're probably like 10 minutes into the episode. This is 52 minutes right now in recording.
Yeah, no, like we've been it's been a hot minute for me. I'm still warming up,
So
In case you couldn't tell from the past 10 minutes of listening, the Kyle voice is still coming back. Scott is not fully there. Kyle's a lot more talkative than usual.
yeah, it's very weird. But yeah, those are your 3 questions as you head back to the Boulderstars, I assume, unless you have anything else you want to do in the city.
Uh, no, I don't think Kyle has anything else he needs to do. Um, Kyle's just gonna head back, kind of do his stuff. Ask Carlos if he can, you know, jet off with Indy.
Okay,
The whole 9 yards.
this is very dumb, but I'm throwing this out there. Roll a d20, just general. This has no plot relevance or whatever. This is me trying to set up for a dumb joke.
9.
All right. Yeah. So as you're walking back, you see somebody, just some random Pokemon. We don't even need to name them. It's just some Pokemon handing out like business cards, and then looks at you and is like, "Oh, would you like to join our lawyer firm?"
Kyle just gives like a very curt, just like shake of the head, just like, no, I'm good, and just keeps walking.
They start to like walk faster behind you, be like, "But we saw you in the previous case. You did really well. You could join us and make lots of money, and you could be a
Kyle
super
puts his
defensive."
hand up at this point, just just puts his hand up, and just turns to him and just goes, "No, thank you," and continues walking.
You rolled a 9, so they continue to walk after you. "But you could make lots of money and be really good, and everything would be great, and you'd be fantastic for the firm, and we would totally be doing
Kyle,
everything above board."
Kyle pulls out like his badge, turns around, and says, "I have a job. I'm very happy. I don't want to join your firm. Sorry. Thanks, but no thanks. Please. I'm very happy with what I'm doing right now, and I don't like situations like this. I'm not good with confrontation, despite what you might say, and I just want to go home and have lunch."
We cut to half an hour later while Kyle busts through the Boulderstars room, like the dorm or whatever, as you just practically ran away from him.
Kyle has opened the door with such force that like people inside are genuinely like, who was that? Oh, it's Kyle. What? Excuse me. What just happened?
Yeah, you run over Steel the Poniard, and just like keep going. But you were back home, safe and sound.
See, you said you rolled. You said, "Oh, you roll a 9," and he keeps talking. I was like, "Am I gonna have to like beat someone up?" Is that what's about to happen?
No, it was just whether or not they would give up. My voice was in a different atmosphere. Hello. But no, it was whether or not they would give up. But they didn't. So you were home. It's like 12:30ish. I don't know. Chow time.
Yeah, Kyle's just gonna, get his lunch, and then before he starts working on like his administrative whatever for the day, he's gonna head to Carlos's office and ask him about jetting off with Indy.
Sure. Do you just ask like, can I go? And yes or no, everything.
Basically, just like the gist of it is, Indy has mentioned some treasure that y'all have been looking for, and he's heading out tomorrow, and I'm trying to join in if that's all good.
Oh, sure. Good luck. I hope that it goes well.
And Kyle just kind of like gives like a half nod, like half bow, just like, yeah, no, oh, thank you, and just heads out to.
He gives one eye, basically.
It's more formal than an eye. It's like a sweet thank you, and heads out.
All right.
I only said a little more formal.
So this afternoon you have, internal tasks to do. So you do those.
Paperwork.
Pretty much. So before tomorrow, is there anything you would like to do?
Part of me wants to see, like, I think Kyle, like, having heard that, like, Carlos is a really good, like, was a legendary level explorer, wants to like kind of pick his brain, but also part of me wants to like keep moving forward in the plot, because we are on Thursday out of 4 days.
Sure. Oh no, it's Friday night.
Oh, it is. Oh wait, Friday, and then there's Saturday, and then okay. I guess we'll Kyle's just gotta kind of pick Carlos's brain about like exploring and finding treasure and all that good stuff.
So he gives you advice on generally how dungeons work in the island. They're very weird. There aren't as many Pokemon, aren't as many items. They're very bland for the most part. Usually that's the case. On rare occasions, it gets flipped where you find like 1,000 items, but you also find like 1,000 enemies. It really just depends on what day it is. And you notice that, Carlos kind of asks you to join him for like a walk, as he heads off to do something like dungeon related, to kind of give you like pointers.
Yeah, I mean, Kyle's gonna very happily join him, learn from the
So
expert for that.
yeah, so you see Carlos very slowly like walking over to whatever cave that he's about to explore, and he just basically tells you,
Oh, I'm looking for a particular sample.
and uh like he's right outside the cave, like slowly just looking around trying to see like gauge what type of dungeon this is.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, follow me, and takes a couple steps forward. Are you following him, I assume?
Yes.
The moment he steps into the dungeon, this man is on hyperdrive. Like he starts bouncing off the walls like Speedy Gonzalez. Like
Oh my lord! I mean, Caracosta are relatively sizable Pokemon. Like, is this dude like causing a ruckus? Is he like fast and like nimble? What is happening?
so, the moment he goes into the dungeon, he starts like working like heck. Like he starts examining things really quickly, like brushing the walls and things like that. He looks like a man on a mission, basically.
And he's moving faster too.
He's moving faster. Just things seem to be going like quicker for him. It's almost like he's just put on a different speed at this point as he goes through the dungeon. A few Pokemon come out to battle. He just like hits like one-hit KOs them all.
Kyle, like while we're in the dungeon and he's in this hyperdrive mode, is gonna kind of just like tap him on the shoulder. Try and get
As
his
you tap him, he slows down like infinitely. It's like,
Yes?
Nothing. I was just wondering, how you're able to work through things so quickly.
Oh, that's because of a move I have.
What move is it?
make sure I have this right.
Oh, it's called Shell Smash.
So you just hyperspeed basically whenever you want.
I mean, it's sort of limited. I can only do it in spurts. And so I try to make it so that it works during times of crisis or importance, like doing missions.
And is that why you're so slow the rest of the time?
Basically, it takes time for my shell to heal and recover from the stress I put on it during missions. So I'm very good while exploring and a bit slow when I'm not.
Interesting. Do you talk faster when you're using Shell Smash?
I suppose so. Let me try. By the way, could you scoot to the right a little bit?
Kyle just like slides over.
You see behind you, by the way, a couple of like Rhyhorn.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So he uses Shell Smash, which is basically just he like sort of weakens his shell a little bit. I'm not exactly sure how it would work in the contents of like real Pokemon, but so he uses that and then Aqua Jets immediately afterwards.
Oh.
And just rushes towards them, bounces off them a bunch like pinball, and comes back to you and goes,
So, do I speak faster now? Oh, I suppose I do. Well, that's interesting. I guess that Shell Smash does increase my speed. I'm normally not talking to myself.
Kyle is just like sitting there, like looking up at him in awe, just like, wow, what is happening?
All right then. Well, let's see.
and he starts at this point like a little bit outpacing you a little bit.
I mean, Trico aren't particularly slow.
Yeah. So you start like jogging to catch up to him as he continues to explore the dungeon, kind of testing the walls a little bit. He eventually finds what he's looking for and then heads back. As soon as his foot steps out of the dungeon, he's back to old slow Carlos Costa.
I mean, Kyle's just not gonna question it at this point. Kyle's just like, well, okay, I guess we're taking our sweet time going back.
So you guys finish your tasks and all that, and that'll end today, at least, unless you have anything else you want to do before you travel. You boat.
I think Kyle's chilling. I think Kyle, he's got all the supplies he needs. He's got the permission to head out. He's good to go.
All right. So on that note, I guess you can go to sleep. I guess.
Yeah.
All right.
Nothing's
So
gonna happen.
yeah, you head to sleep. It's a nice normal night of sleep. You wake up tomorrow morning. What time are you waking up? 'Cause remember, he leaves at 9. I think I said.
Yeah, no, like I mean, Kyle's getting up at the same time he normally would, like 7:30, I think.
Yeah.
Or, like,
Okay.
Like closer to 8. You know, does his thing. You know, gets ready, has his breakfast. Like, you know, make sure he's got everything in his bag, and then heads out.
Hello, this is Anirudh, the GM of Not a Scratch, and thank you for listening to this episode. As always, future episodes come out on Tuesdays, so be sure to follow us, subscribe, and do all those important things that you ought to do when supporting a podcast. The I Got Scratched segment is a bit longer today, as your favorite, maybe, DM continues to make mistakes. There are a few things that either may not have made sense or eventually won't make sense that I'd like to address. The first thing, in the beginning of this episode, I talk about how both solo episodes were going to be released at the same time, and obviously that wasn't the case, but Ralph's solo episode is available now in case you're interested. The second thing is something that'll happen in a bit. To keep it spoiler-free, all I'll say is that the turns don't add up, but it technically doesn't matter. If that makes no sense to you, don't worry about it. It'll make sense eventually. Hopefully future segments of this show are shorter, but they probably won't be. If you've enjoyed the episode, though, and want to support us in any way, shape, or form that you can, the best way to do so is to share us with your friends. Share us with people that can count. Apparently that's very important because I cannot. Also, leave us a review on your podcasting platform. Reviews help to bring new people into our community and also give us advice on what we can improve on in the future. You can also follow us on Twitter at NotAScratchCast or email us as well at notascratchcast@gmail.com if you have any cool ideas you want to add to the podcast or just want to reach out to us. We also have a Discord for Not a Scratch and have a bunch of awesome people that have already joined. Join us to help build that Not a Scratch community. We want to thank Glitch X City for the songs Kirby's Dream Land, the Lo-Fi Remix, Pokemon Diamond and Pearl Pokemon League Lo-Fi Remix, Hoenn Surf Theme Remix, Deltarune Hip Shop Remix, Mystery Dungeon Ages Cave Remix, Hoenn Dive Theme Remix, Hoenn Weather Trio Remix Version 1, and Mystery Dungeon Time Gear Remix. We also want to thank Tabletop Audio for the songs Country Village, Medieval Library, Superhero, Down by the Sea, Docks District, Swamp Planet, Sunken Treasure, and Waterkeep Night. There are a lot of songs. Please check them both out because their music is fantastic. Thanks again for listening. The big promotion on our end today is about a charity event happening on December 19th, 2020. If you're listening to this episode the week it comes out, that's this Sunday. As part of the Pokecasters network, Not a Scratch is proud to be helping with their December charity event. You may have heard a promo about the charity event from some announcements made before on the show. Following the midsection will be a promo directly from the Pokecasters network. If you're able to join, please do. We'd absolutely love to see you there, and if you're able to donate, that's fantastic. You'd be able to help so many people while supporting me in battle. If you want to promote your show in our podcast, we'd love to help. All you have to do is contact us on Twitter or in our Discord, both mentioned previously, and share a promo that we can put in our episode midsection. Without further ado, let's hear about this charity event.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Bagel Noob. I'm the host of Pokemon Go FM and the vice president of the Pokecasters Network. Now, I wanted to reach out to everybody to let you guys know about our upcoming charity event on Saturday, December 19th, that'll be hosted all day on our Twitch channel. This event is one that we're going to call our Charity Tabletop Extravaganza, and it's an all-day event starting at 10 a.m. Eastern, going into Sunday, the 20th. This charity event will star many of your favorite Pokemon and tabletop podcasters as a cast of Pokemon trainers, announcers, and judges at a world tournament hosted in Pokemon Black 2 and Pokemon White 2's Driftveil City. Our story will open on the top 8 as some of the world's toughest trainers compete to be the world champion. The trainers will not only have to face each other, but some very mysterious foes. So you, the fans and listeners, have the chance to influence the game. Now, you can do that in several different ways. You can do it by donating to give your favorite trainers advantage on their roles. You can do it by donating to help change the field in which the trainers are battling, much like in anime or Super Smash Bros. You can even donate to help trigger random events. In addition to using your donations to impact the game and story, you can also win tons of prizes. We have a lot of prizes for you guys. We have several $100s worth of Pokemon merchandise, including a plethora of really amazing merch from our sponsor, Giraffe Dice, who you can find on Facebook. Now, the best part of all of this is that all the proceeds go to helping sick children. So you can purchase raffle tickets and prizes even if you cannot attend and win some really great merch while doing good. So come, join us throughout the day. Bring your friends, bring some snacks, and bring your beverage of choice. Help us make a difference this holiday season and end this crummy year on a high note. And once the event is done, we'll upload the audio to our new Pokecasters Network podcast feed, where you can not only find your favorite shows, but additional content from our charity events and community events. You can find the feed on Apple Podcasts, Spreaker, and Spotify, and coming soon, we'll have it on iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, and Amazon Podcasts. For more information, you can check out Pokecasters Network on Twitter, Facebook, PokecastersNetwork.com, or in our Discord channel. Thank you, everyone, and we hope to see you there.
Yeah, so as you're walking towards the docks, and if you're not shopping for anything, what are you thinking about? I guess, I don't know. What's in the mind of Kyle this morning on Saturday, June 18th?
I mean, Kyle's got a lot to think about. The big questions on Kyle's mind revolve around, like, the legend and this supposed Pearl character. That's those are two things that he's just kind of trying to percolate in his mind, trying to see if he can piece together kind of if it's something that like it should be on his radar or not. He's
Okay.
back to being Detective Kyle, except this
Yeah.
time he's actually happy about it.
Yeah. Today also, by the way, is at least sometime today is gonna be Ralph's lesson.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I don't know if you were expecting more of a reaction.
No. I'm just tossing that out there for audience purposes as well, just to know where we are on the timeline.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So as you're walking back, you shiver for some reason, and you have the strange sensation that Ralph is annoyed at you.
I mean, Kyle very quickly tosses that thought out the window, just like, whatever.
All right. Yeah. So you walk over to the docks. It's probably like 8:30, 8:45-ish. And you see Indy kind of shining his little boat. And this is very much like a, I don't know what it would be, like a two-person. What would a two-person sub look like? So that's effectively what it's trying to be, or like some sort of fishing boat where someone can go scuba diving and stuff.
Wait, so like, is this like a submarine or is this like a boat but with diving?
No, I think it's a boat, and there's scuba gear on the boat, but I don't know how big the boat would be, because scuba stuff is like huge.
Well, it's not huge.
Well, I mean, like the boat itself, because there's like 14 people on the boat that like operate different things and stuff, and this is a two-person adventure.
Well, scuba is meant to be like a normal like diving expedition. Yeah, there's a lot of things, but like if it's just like a scuba thing, it's self-contained. It's pretty small.
Okay, so usually a small.
I'm imagining like a small like really just a small dinghy. Really is what I'm imagining he has. I'm not imagining he has anything like crazy. Just like a small dinghy.
Okay.
He's got like the scuba gear. He's got an extra set, extra oxygen tank just in case.
Gotcha. So he's got that stuff. And he kind of waves you over as you approach him.
Kyle's just gonna like wave back like as he's going over, just like, oh, good morning.
All right, so I guess this means you're coming with me.
Kyle just like nods, yeah.
All right.
And he looks off in the distance and points in a specific direction.
You see that little bump over there?
And he points, and you can see fairly well some sort of like jagged. The best way to describe it is like a jagged rock appearing above the horizon.
Kyle's just gonna like nod. It's like, yeah, I see it.
Yeah, that's where we're traveling. That's the weird place. It's not on any of the maps. The old ones, the new ones, everything like that. So we're gonna go over there and see, what's up.
Do we know if there's any sort of caves or anything there, or is it just a rock?
Not sure. That's why we've got the gear.
Cool, sounds good.
All right.
I was gonna start like putting this stuff in the boat and getting ready to head out.
Yeah, you pop on in. Got everything? Because once we start going that way, it's going to be a while until we come back.
Kyle just like gives him a thumb up. Or did Trico have thumbs?
They have fingers.
Yeah. Kyle's gonna give him a thumb up. I feel like he can make that general sentiment work.
Sure. And at that, he kind of nods, and you guys start traveling out there. It takes a while. You guys are rowing your boat, effectively. A fun time at sea. How do you feel in the middle of the ocean, away from your glorious trees? By the way, 'cause that's something you got to notice.
It's definitely like a little off-putting for Kyle, but I don't. There's something about like the whole like task at hand kind of mentality for Kyle that's like kind of putting him at ease. Just like,
Sure.
yeah, I can work with this. I can do this thing.
All right. So you eventually get near the rock. You're about I'll describe it like maybe like half a football field away, something like that. As you're approaching it.
50 yards.
Yeah, about 50 yards, give or take.
Roughly 50 meters for our superior metric friends.
So as you get closer and closer, you start to feel like something is off.
Kyle's gonna like very discreetly like look at his badge real quick just to see if it's like giving him any signals.
Your badge is not giving any signals, but you still feel like something's off.
Can Kyle like place his finger on what feels off, or is it just like something feels off?
At this point, something feels off.
But like the weather looks normal, the water looks normal.
Yep.
Weird. I mean, Kyle's just gonna kind of be on alert, as if he's normally not on alert, but
Sure.
Kyle's just gonna be very vigilant, keeping an eye out.
So I just rolled for Indy, and a couple more strokes later, as you get a little bit closer to the rock, Indy stops and looks concerned.
Kyle just like gives him like a tap on the shoulder, just like looking over at him, like, "You good, bro?"
Something seems off. Do you know what I mean? It's like...
And as he pauses, make a roll. What roll? Let's find out.
Please don't be perception. Please don't be perception. Please don't be
Okay, so I'm trying to make you resist something. What would that be?
Is it mental or is it physical?
Mental.
Resist something mental. I guess the equivalent, if we're talking just pure D&D stats, would be Arcana.
That's what I was leaning towards, yeah.
Which we kind of just throw under Smart.
Sure, so go ahead and roll an Arcana thing.
3.
Ooh. I should probably roll for...
A yellow ring appears on Kyle's forehead, and game over.
Yep, that's it. That's the game. Thanks, guys. Okay, now, okay. So Indy rolled a 2, so that's not great.
I also rolled a 2, but I just had the +1, so...
So, you have a strong urge to turn back.
See, on the one hand, I'm like, I want to ignore this and keep moving. But I feel like the dice are going to punish me for that decision. The dice will punish me for not listening to them. But yeah, no, Kyle's just going to kind of look at Indy and like check in and be like, so what's our play here?
He turns to you very concerned and is like, I feel like we need to turn around. I don't know why. I don't know what's telling me this. And it hits you there. Somebody is telling you this. Someone is telling you this, like, in your head, turn back, turn back, turn back. But you aren't, like, part of you're fighting it at this point. Part of you is turning back, and then the other half of you is like, well, no, why? Like,
Kyle's gonna like turn to Indy like for the first time, like other than like maybe like exchanging like like some pleasantries or anything earlier. It's just gonna be like, I think this means we're on the right track. I think we should keep going.
Okay.
If there's a treasure, and we both have this really icky feeling, it's probably a good sign.
Sure. Right. Let's go.
And He begrudgingly, for a moment, continues to paddle. As you get closer and closer to Rock, which is now the name of it, we will call it Rock. It is our Lord and Savior, Rock.
Big Rocco.
As you get closer and closer to Rock, the noise gets louder and louder and louder until you're about like, I don't know, 10 yards away, and this thing is like practically screaming in your head.
There's no way to like turn it off, is there?
No. I mean, do you have a remote for your head?
Indy's just like paddling along towards the rock, right?
It's slower and slower as you get closer and closer, but yes.
All right. Kyle is gonna take a page out of the Ralph playbook
Oh boy.
and dial the Adam hotline.
All right. Roll. We normally do Arcana for that, right?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah. Roll Arcana with disadvantage.
Oi. So you said roll, and I rolled, and I got a 9, and I was like, okay, whatever. And then he said with disadvantage, and I was like, it's a failure
Rip.
anyways. And then I rolled again.
Oh no.
I got a nat 1.
Oh no.
Is this information I should be disclosing to you? No, because it only hurts me, but I just find it hilarious.
So that's not great. You can't hear. You can barely hear yourself think at this point.
Right.
You just hear this sort of like, it's almost like a chant at this point of like turn back, turn back, turn back.
Turn around, turn around, turn
basically.
around. 3-syllable chants. They're the way to go. If there's anything we've learned over the last 4 years, it's 4 syllables or 3 syllables.
Hey. So as you get closer and closer, are you going to continue to go or are you turning back?
Kyle's gonna continue to go. Or
Okay.
Kyle's gonna want to continue to go. Of course, it's not his boat.
So
Not
Indy
his boat.
continues
Not
to
his boat.
Indy continues to go, but Indy is going like barely rowing at this point. Like you can tell Indy is fighting it, but Indy's fighting it and like losing. Good. What?
I was gonna say Kyle's gonna like tap him on the shoulder and just like give him like this concerned look that just like conveys like, "You good?"
He kind of mutters to you, "You have to get to the rock."
And Kyle just nods and lets him keep going.
So you guys are
Kyle
going.
has confidence in his boy.
You guys continue to go, and at this point you are, despite the fact that was 10 yards, it took like 5 minutes. It was like very difficult, but you are right next to the rock, and this thing is basically like if a mountain, just the top part of a mountain, or no, the best way to put it is like a pyramid, like an Egyptian pyramid, but it's like maybe 10 feet, maybe larger than that, like 20, 30 feet.
It's the it's the tip of the pyramid, the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah, exactly. It's like maybe 30 feet in the air or so, maybe a little bit higher than that, but it looks just basically like a rock.
And like, can we tell that like it just like is huge underneath?
Oh yeah, no, you can easily tell. Like if you can see, even though the water is there, you can see underneath it. Like there's more of the
nice clear water.
the rock.
I mean, I assume Indy's taking point on this, but is there anywhere to like land at the rock?
Sure, we'll say there's like a jagged, not jagged, a smoother location. Yeah, you don't want a jagged thing. There's a location that you can effectively quote unquote park.
All right, I'm assuming Indy's gonna land the boat.
Yep. So Indy heads to that location. It's pretty safe for the most part. There's no big currents or anything like that.
Aside, how did I just pick up on Indiana Jones?
Oh, you just got that?
I literally just got that.
Uh,
It has been since we first got introduced to this character, real world time, 4 months probably, pushing 4 months,
yeah, that sounds accurate.
and I just got that.
Um,
Which means I know an obvious joke that's gonna come up at some point in this episode.
I don't know what you're talking about. But
Survivor.
you,
Why'd it have to be Survivor?
but you, so as you get there, the rock is there, and Indy kind of like taps it a bit, and all of a sudden, as soon as Indy taps the rock, Indy looks like jubilant. Meanwhile, you still have noises in your head yelling at you to turn around.
Kyle's just looking over at Indy like, what are you so happy about? What?
He kind of points with his trunk at the rock and just goes, "Touch it."
Kyle's just gonna reach out and touch it.
As soon as you touch it, the voices disappear.
Interesting. Interessant. Kyle's just gonna look over at Indy with that, like, I told you so face.
Indy does whatever a fanfi does to shrug, and then goes,
All right. So I guess we dive, right?
Is there is there no entrance? Like, is there like is there a cave that goes into this rock, or are we going in from the outside?
You look around, like where you are, there's no real entrance. It looks fairly like a large rock, basically. There's nothing really dramatic about it. No entrance, no exits, nothing like that. It just looks like, it tossed a stone into a pond, like, and it floated, I guess. That would effectively be what it was. Except, there's more underneath it.
Yeah. All right. I'm assuming Indy has conveyed all this to Kyle at this point. So Kyle's just gonna go. Yeah, I guess we're diving.
All right. And you two put on your scuba gears. You've got your oxygen. And oh, this fits in perfectly. Okay. So you have your oxygen, and I guess if you guys would like to dive in, you literally dive in.
Yeah. Wait. I stole the line from you earlier, so I feel like it's only fair that you get to say it now.
Ahem. You guys literally dive on in. And so, you guys get underneath, and you see how expansive this thing is. You know how I said it was a pyramid before? That's probably wrong. It's more like it's a massive tree that grew. It's a massive, like, a rock tree, effectively.
And like we were at like the base of the trunk, and it just goes out.
More like you can, if you look underneath, you're at like the top leaves, like the branch.
Oh.
And as you dive underneath, you see it like expand even more,
Yeah,
and eventually rooted into the ground, which is a fair distance away.
I mean, it's literally all the way down to the ocean floor. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Wow. I guess Kyle's gonna like trust Indy's instincts here and kind of let him take the lead.
All right. Indy kind of like swims like in a circle a little bit, almost like Indy's thinking, and then he points with his trunk. By the way, these scuba suits, for convenience sake, have been specially made to fit a Trico and a Fanfi, which are two completely different creatures.
Of course.
Yeah.
And Indy just happened to have one, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No. Natural.
So Indy points with its trunk at a specific like location on the trunk. There's like an opening, I guess, and kind of points at that, and then you can clearly tell he's about to go there.
Yeah. No. Kyle's just gonna follow suit.
Okay. You go inside, and at this point, we play a game.
Is this everyone's favorite game?
This is everyone's favorite game.
Roll that die.
This is Roll That Die. Now, for people at home, this is going to be kind of weird. For you, it'll make sense. Do you see where my cursor is?
I do see.
Right now?
Yeah.
Okay, that was the start point. Like, right outside. Yep. So we're going to play Roll That Die. Pretty straightforward. We roll a die, and my man's here moves forward.
Is this outline that I can see? Do I get this?
You get access to
I
whatever you can see.
I get all this for free. Wow.
You get all this for free. This doesn't mean much to the audience, but this means a lot to you.
I have a whole chunk of map for free. Last time we did this, I got like nothing. Wait, hold on. Is this all like in here, like wall as well?
No, that's unbuilt as of now.
So, ooh. So I kind of already have information that there's like a room here. Interesting. Wow, this is an interesting. Yeah. This is an interesting one. This is an interesting map.
This is very interesting. So here are the things. There are two caveats, two specific rules that are going to make this a lot more interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Number one, you're using D8 to move around.
Oh, it's a big boy.
And number two, you have a limited amount of turns to find whatever you're looking for.
Oxygen, yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Is it a limited number of total steps or a limited number of tools? Like, if I just get ones, I'm cooked.
It is turns.
Boy.
So you will get cooked. What basically will happen is, and I'm trying to do the tabulations in my head right now as I'm talking, but once we reach the amount of turns, if you have not found the item, then it'll be like, hey, we're halfway gone, we should turn around. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So with that being said, let's see. Based on what I have, you have 20 turns to find what you're looking for. That sounds like a lot, but you will see why.
It's really not a lot. That's only 80 spaces on a map this big. Like if you take the average roll.
Yeah, average is 80 spaces.
Well, 4.5. So that's really 90. No.
Sure. Yeah, that seems right. So
No, 120.
Are you just
No.
saying numbers at this point?
Hold
D8.
on. What's
So
four-
8, 1, 8.5.
Yeah,
8,
four
9,
and a half
9,
times
4.5.
20 is 70. Wait, no, that's three
That's
and
not
a half.
right. That's 90. You know, you were right the first
90,
time. It was 90.
yeah. I've gone
Yeah,
through
90.
a bunch of different numbers. Yeah, 90.
You have on average 90. Maybe you can swim efficiently. Maybe you won't.
All right. Well,
All right.
nothing to do but to roll the die.
Yep.
Starting off strong, starting with a 6.
Okay.
So-
I just need a reminder on what each thing is.
Here I'm gonna go out here
Okay,
to
no.
demo. N, W, B is battle, I is item.
Gotcha. Okay, so you start. Let's see. So
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, we're gonna go ahead and take a left here at this turn here.
okay, so you enter. You want to describe the room you're in since you can see it.
Yeah. So kind of entered the tree trunk thing, and we swim down this pathway. Then we come up against a nice little T junction to start off. We take a left, and we go into this room. Seems empty. There's nothing really in this room. It's like weird that there's a little cavern, and then across the room is a little exit into another tunnel.
All right, so go ahead and roll again.
I keep forgetting that I'm the one who has to roll. So you
Yeah,
not
normally
rolling.
it's Mansour, isn't it?
All right, yeah. All right, we got a 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4 does not get us out of the room, and then we get a 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4 steps in. We've crossed the room, and we're going into the tunnel. 5, 6, 7, and this tunnel goes a little deeper than the first one. And now we get a 5, 3, 4, and now the tunnel takes a hard right. But there seems to be nothing in this tunnel. It seems to go a decent ways. Nice little 7. I haven't kept track of how many rolls I've done, by the way.
Oh, this is roll 4.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There seems to be
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. There seems to be a room at the end of this tunnel. Rolled a 5, and we're basically right at the entranceway to this room ahead of us now. And then a 2 literally just gets us into the room.
Okay, that was turn 6.
Boy, we're already halfway through. Ah! So we enter a room. We enter up against the left wall of this room, and this room seems to be empty. But there seems to be a hallway that goes out to the left, and a hallway that goes out to the right. Kyle's gonna look over at Indy and kind of just let him make the call.
Okay, you're asking the GM to make the call, basically, is what you're saying.
Well, I'm asking the trusted explorer to make the call here, and hopefully the trusted explorer has good instincts. Is what I'm trying to say.
Indy says go left.
Okay, that's the decision I was gonna make regardless. All right, so right up against the wall on the left, there's a little exit, and they're gonna head that way. Got a 7, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and now we're in this really short hallway that leads up to 5, 6, 7. We're at another junction. I guess at this junction, Kyle's gonna make the executive decision to take a right. If I roll a nat 8, can I take an extra step?
You get 8 steps. That is your extra step.
Sad. All right. Well, got an 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Seems to be a long, desolate hallway in the rightwards direction. The hallway looks like it's going to turn to the right. Kyle can see a turn to the right up ahead. And a 1. There we go. There it is.
Okay, you have completed 9 turns.
Boy. And now it's a 2. So we're halfway down on our oxygen, and We found nothing. What's the consequence of running out of turns in this dungeon, considering we are underwater scuba diving?
Yeah, no, the way that I'm not gonna have you like have problems or anything like that. When we run out of turns, your day is over effectively, and you'll just turn around and go back.
So we could just ride out this entire. Oh wait, it's 20 turns that. Oh wait, 20 turns to go halfway. Time to go back. Well, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So you'll just take a U-turn and do everything at the
okay.
opposite.
Okay, yeah. All right. Well, we get a 7. 1, 2, 3. Take this turn at the right. 1, 2, 3, 4.
That was turn 11. I have this on time.
Another 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's a long hallway, but it looks like at the end of this, we're coming up on a much smaller room. Well, it seems to, okay. I lied. We're coming up on a room that seems to go on forever. 5, 1, 2.
So that's turn 12.
Yeah. Still 3 steps in hand. I'm just waiting to see what the room has in it. Okay, yeah. 3, 4, 5. So, Kyle and Indy have made their way into this like really long, like it's almost like a foyer. Like it's just a long, narrow room, like a foyer, but like to a castle. Like it's really long, empty room. At least it looks like. They cannot see down to the end of the room. It's that big. All right, a 2.
That is turn 13.
Yeah, Kyle's made the executive decision to just explore this room because I can't see the end. It's a 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
So that I think that was turn 14, right?
Sounds about right.
Okay.
Is that like a little doorway, like cave mouth opening to the left or to the right? It is.
Yes.
Okay. An 8 again. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Okay.
So Kyle definitely gets the feeling that they've like made most of the headway like through this room. At this point, like looking back, like they've gone a decent distance into this room. There's almost no turning back now. There's a little like opening over to the right that like leads into like another like, what do you call like a hallway in a cave? There's definitely a word for it.
Pathway?
I don't know what the word is. There's definitely a word.
Tunnel?
A tunnel. That's what it is. A tunnel. Oh, another 8. I swear I'm not making it up. I swear I just rolled 2 8s in a row. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay, I should give you all the information. Right?
Yeah. All right, so
Right.
like 3 steps. Oh, that is interesting. I mean, we can't see what the item. All right, so as Kyle and Indy get right by the doorway, as they're getting closer to the hallway to the side, they see farther along down the corner of the room, there's a there's something just chilling there. I don't know whether it's floating or if it's sitting on the floor of the cave or whatever, but they see something, and there's a bunch of Pokemon right by it. All right, Kyle is fearless and is gonna go ahead and make this move anyways. So
Okay.
It was 3 steps, I believe. No, this was 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Okay, that was turn 16, and if I'm off, then
So-
retcon it, I suppose. You have 4 turns remaining.
All right. Well, here's 2, a 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and now like
You're
there.
guaranteed, I think. Well, no, you're technically not guaranteed to get the item, because if you roll 2 1s and you land on the Pokemon, then have to turn back. So
Ooh, that's true. So anything beyond a 1, and we can eventually get to the item. And I got a 6.
all right,
Can we
so
jump over the Pokemon?
you will have to, in this situation, fight one of them. You can pick which one though. There are 5 options. So
Oh no! And are these predetermined? Which one's which?
I have determined which one is which.
Oh no! Oh no! There are 5 different Pokemon surrounding this thing.
Now you two will fight one of them, and then the others will just magically disappear by the convenience of plot.
Nice. Yeah, I was hoping we wouldn't have to fend off 5 Pokemon.
Yeah,
So it's 2 against 1.
correct.
Oh, then I like my odds. We're gonna go with I feel like you'd put the highest level one here.
Are you going for the highest level one?
Well, I'm taking a stab at it. I won't be mad if I get a lower level one and don't get KO'd. However, comma, I like the odds in a 2-on-1.
Okay, so you are getting into a battle, and therefore we will roll initiative. It is a higher level one. It is not the highest I had. It's like the second highest, I think. You were going up against a Psyduck.
Oh, bet. Easy money.
Yep. I need to roll initiative. You 6, and then I need to roll initiative. For my Fanfi friend. Let's roll a 6, but Psyduck will do that. So the order will be the Psyduck, Fanfi, and then you. I think. What did you roll? You rolled a 4, right?
I rolled a 4. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're on the rear.
Also, question.
Yes.
Kyle is currently learning Quick Attack. What are the conditions to have it learned again?
Normally it is super effective. No, what is it? It is, if it hits, it's super effective and it knocks out a Pokemon. Since yours is not that, you have to knock out 2 Pokemon, I think.
Okay, because I want to note it down. I need 2 KOs with Quick Attack to fully learn it and get it out of. What's the penalty for it being in the learn slot? It's just disadvantage.
Disadvantage in accuracy.
Gotcha. Okay. Cool.
Yep. All right. So with that said, it is Psyduck's turn first. So Psyduck, a little bit higher level than your normal Joe Schmo. It'll go for. How much do you enjoy Fury Swipes?
Not particularly. I feel like as a ground type, a Fanfi can deal with Fury Swipes a little bit more easily.
Okay, so it is a high. It is hitting you. That is the unfortunate part. The bright side is its accuracy is a 10, which means I have to beat 10.
Oh, and
However,
however many times you beat 10. Right? Or no?
I have to change it. I think the way that it is either all or nothing. The way it is right now is that I roll, if I beat 10, then I roll for how many times it hits.
Yeah.
And then if I don't beat 10, I just don't hit at all. So it's very much like a boom or bust type thing.
Yeah, gotcha.
It does not. It gets an 8, so it tries to scratch you, and you nimbly dodge out of the way.
Nice.
It is now my favorite elephant's turn, and
aside, Donphan's an underrated Pokemon. Carry on.
I agree. Let's see. I think the way that you have right now is probably best if you, it's probably best for you to go for a tackle and just make it easy on that. Because I don't think there's time for rollout to build.
Use tackle attack.
So let's see. We'll go tackle. That's a 16. That'll hit.
I feel like at some point I've seen the combination of Ash or other Pokemon carriers saying use tackle attack.
Oh yeah, no, that's I feel like very common.
Yeah.
So that'll do 22, 14. So that'll do 14 damage. Oh, I did use a Golduck. Did I?
Oh! Surprise! We're battling a Golduck. Surprise!
Oh no, I'm in the previous round. That'll do 14 damage, and it's still up. It's your move.
All right. Kyle, seeing that it's still up, it's not really hurting. Kyle is gonna go for an Absorb.
Okie dokie.
Which could come back to haunt him, but. Oh Lord! Oh no!
Oh no good or oh no bad? That sounds like oh no bad.
I mean the accuracy for an Absorb is a 6. I rolled a 6.
Oh no!
That's not it.
Yeah, so you try to absorb the Psyduck's health, and the Psyduck does not care one bit, and in fact ignores it, and you don't get much of anything. And now it is Psyduck's turn.
Man, what happened to our battle descriptions? They used to be so much better.
Yeah, we used to flavor them. And...
When did we get lazy? When did I get lazy?
Okay, so I literally rolled the same combination of numbers, so it's gonna go for a Fury Swipe on you again.
Oh, well, this is scintillating gameplay right here. Wait, so you have the dungeon Pokemon randomly choose stuff?
Yeah, because they're not smart.
Very interesting.
I don't think I used to do that. I do that now. So it'll go for Fury Swipes on you, and I rolled a 5, so it misses. And nothing has happened, I think. No, Fanfi has done some stuff. So it is now Fanfi's turn. Fanfi's gonna go for another tackle.
Use tackle attack.
I rolled a 3. That doesn't do anything.
Boy.
It moves, dodges, and it is now your move, as we are very confused at how this lasted this long.
Well, Kyle's gonna go for another absorb because if at
It's
first
gotta
you
work
don't,
now.
if at first you don't succeed, just do it. Just do the thing. And I rolled a 13, which hits.
There we go.
And it does. I'm on a different screen than usual. I gotta bump up the sides to see this. It does 1d6 plus 3 damage. Which ain't half bad. Except I rolled a 1, so that's 3 plus it's a special attack. So 3 plus 11 is 14.
Okay, 14 minus special defense is 9, which makes 5 times 2 is 10, which is enough to take it out.
Oh!
Bingo, bango, gameo, seto.
Macho.
Yep,
not macho.
And,
Right, not macho.
yes. And you win. Yay.
Dun, 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 dun.
So that'll be that. You gain 26 experience.
Hey, okay. So that puts me at 409 experience. Kyle's catching up.
Yep. And I think with that, you have 1 turn remaining, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, there's a turn of movement, but I mean we're right by the item.
Yeah, so you roll, you get any number, and you land on the item.
Hey. So I hit the D8 button on my phone, and guess what came up?
A 1.
Yes.
Hey. So you land exactly on the item. The item is a chest. It is a treasure chest.
Does it have like a lock on it, or is it just like we're gonna be able to bust this thing open?
You gotta... If Indy wants you to bust it open back home. Like, take it with you.
Well, yeah. No, like that was the question, but this was a question from later.
There's no like key or anything like that.
Okay, all right, cool. Yeah, so we're gonna just take it and skedaddle on out of here.
Yep. So you had a grand old time. Exactly 20 moves was perfect, by the way, which I find hilarious.
I mean, I had to roll a bunch of 8s to get there, but
Yeah. Okay, so you guys head on out, get back on the dinghy, start rowing your way back. Grand adventure is here. The time right now, by the way, it is like pitch black.
we were down there a while.
Mm-hmm.
Have fun.
So you guys keep on rowing back. You're back home. The time will say it's like 9:30ish.
Cool.
So where are you going with this chest? Because
I mean, I'm assuming Indy has like a residence on the island or something. Assuming...
Oh sure, because Indy was going to take it to Carlos.
Well, yeah, we could just take it to Carlos. See what happens.
So, you guys take this chest together. It is heavy. That's one thing you can get out of it. It's very heavy. You get like a wheelbarrow or something and start like dragging that with you. And,
How did we get out of it?
Not a wheelbarrow, a wagon. That's it.
We need to wheelbarrow it. How did we? You know what? Never mind. Never
No,
mind.
I think wagon is the right word. Not a wheelbarrow.
Okay, but like, if we cannot carry this, how did we get it out of there?
Well, I think you two can carry it, but if you two want to carry it throughout an entire town, that feels like
Okay,
a little bit much.
Okay, that's fair. I thought you meant like it was literally too heavy for us to carry, and I was like,
oh no.
Seems sus.
So you you take this and you head on to back to the Boulderstars, and I assume you just Indy starts banging on the door and be like, Carlos, doing a very Ralph thing. Now that I think about it.
Yeah, that's very Ralph.
Carlos opens the door.
Can we in post cut to a moment earlier in the episode where, because I know we've had a couple of moments, at least one moment like this, where Ralph has just banged on Kyle's door, just going, Kyle. Can we cut to that? Thanks.
Sure. So yeah, you bang on Indy bangs on the door. Carlos comes out and then looks at you, looks at Indy, looks at you, and looks at the chest, and his eyes widen, and he's like, "Oh, come inside. Let's open it up." So you guys go inside and are about to open it up. I guess.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So I didn't know whether you wanted me to. I don't know what you wanted me to say there. Like,
Yeah, I wasn't sure what you would say.
I mean,
You have
Kyle's
any,
not saying anything. Kyle's just like,
yeah.
go.
Do you have any words of wisdom before you open the chest up?
Kyle, no. Me, I mean, I feel like we could potentially be opening up Pandora's box here. You know, this could have major implications depending on what's in this box.
Oh yes, major implications indeed. So at this point, the chest is rusted. So Caracosta grabs like one of those, like a toolbar, something like that, to like pry it open. A plier. I don't know. What am I thinking?
A crowbar.
Crowbar. That's it. It gets a crowbar to like ply it, open it, and after some budging, some movement, he cracks it open, and inside the chest is one singular thing.
The suspense is killing me, buddy.
Oh, did that cut out? I think it cut out.
Oh, I thought you were just quiet with the suspense. I was like, what is the thing? What's the thing?
Inside is one singular thing, and inside of this chest is a blue egg. And with that, we will end this episode.
Excuse me? What? Huh?
Bang.
My mind is just shattered. Excuse me. What? Huh? Huh?
Ta-da.
I mean, I feel like I should have seen this coming. But also, huh?
That's the ideal. We want our plot points to be foreseeable and yet impossible.
Yeah, no, I'm just like, oh no, what's gonna happen now? How does this resolve itself?
Oh yeah, this is gonna be fun. That does wrap this solo episode up. If you have listened to the Ralph solo episode, thank you very much. If you have not, that's available right now. You can listen to it. Yeah, is there anything else you would like to add before we sign off?
When you're listening to this, send me all your love and good vibes, because my brain is shattered right now, and I don't know. I have no idea where this is going, and I'm terrified.
All right, that's the ideal. And with that being said, I have been your GM, your PM, your DM, Anirudh himself.
And I've been Mohammed, playing Kyle.
Until next time, take care. We zoom into a cave entrance where 4 Pokemon sit. As we get closer, we see who these 4 Pokemon are: an Alakazam, an Arcanine, a Vanillite, and a Quagsire. Each of them sits close to a fire that Arcanine tends to, though Vanillite sits a bit further back.
Glad we got out of there in one piece. Personally, not a big fan of the whole Monster House thing, even if it is good experience.
Are you kidding? Monster houses are perfect for big loot like what we got. Have you been able to open the chest yet, Adam?
I've solved the lock, but it seems that we need to inflict status conditions on the box, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, makes sense, especially based on the dungeon we were in. I've still got stun spore on my fur, so I can burn the lock and maybe Isaac can freeze it.
Makes sense to me.
The Arcanine and the Vanillite both step towards the lock on the chest, as the Quagsire takes a step back. Then, a ferocious flame, followed by a cool beam of ice, hit the lock, causing it to change color, then break.
Perfect. Let's see what's inside.
As the 4 Pokemon gather around the chest, the Alakazam opens it and finds a very old piece of parchment.
I know I'm the new guy, but I'm pretty sure that wasn't what we were expecting. Was it?
Nope, but it might be even better. What we've got here is the key.
The key to what?
This, my friends, is the key to finding the legendary items. All of them puzzled, but accessible to us. We can tell Ralph and Kyle about this, and then all of us can...
Suddenly, a loud noise burst from outside of the cave.
I'll explain later. Let's head back to the base, quick, before they find us.
Where did they go? Where are they? Come back with my guide.
We turn towards the noise, only to see a bright yellow flash of light from the entrance, and a popping sound from behind. When we turn around, the 4 Pokemon are gone. The embers of the fire flicker, then vanish.